Subscribe and become a citizen, soldier. This is DreadLore. We play this game every Monday at 7 p.m. exactly EST, where it's kind of like a role-playing game. We call it, I guess, a live play game. And this week we're playing Into Space. Into Space is
space.
outer space kind of thingy. With our cast, Bill Bunkum, Ken Howl, Daniel Hulker, Drizzle, Andrea Elliott-Johnson, Jazzy Cabbage, and Max. Our guest this week is Archangel, who is gracing us with his ungodly
winged presence.
Yeah, winged advanced presence. Score by all lowercase letters and Mr. Interrupt, as well as thank you to all our Patreons, Tim Roberts, Daniel Hulker, Nostalgic, and Natalia Cline. Please consider joining our Patreon at patreon.com/DreadLore.
DreadLore.
Couchfire Media brings art and media production, as well as Trois Reblay brings us a whole bunch of shit that we got to deal with.
Yeah, tastes good.
Thanks for whatever they do. Subscribe today, soldier. Subscribe and become a citizen. At this moment, I would like to ask Daniel Hulker, who is our who's our sponsor tonight, Daniel?
It's a good question.
Who is it?
Our sponsor tonight is Doppelgangers.
Where'd he go? He's not even here.
He's not here. Where's our sponsor? Hulker. He ran away.
Hulker.
He didn't even show up.
Hulker.
Not cool. Not cool, man. We need that money.
If he puts a sponsor in the text on the Twitch,
that would be good. He'll get a whole.
I will pass away.
He'll get a whole experience. Yeah, it looks like our sponsor is no call, no show.
No call, no show.
You love it. Your coworkers hate it.
There it is.
Oh wait! I may have found a sponsor.
Oh, good.
In the nick of time.
See,
Right in the nick of time.
Our sponsor. I know, it's just I've been working on it all day, and I finally got it figured out. So, black holes are in fact our sponsor for tonight.
Yeah.
Because really, because it was inevitable. I mean, you talk about the inexorable pull of gravitational, anomalies. It really was inevitable that we were going to get pulled into the gravity of a black hole, and we finally did. And they're willing to give back a little bit because of that inevitability, and sponsor us just a little bit tonight.
Thank you, black holes.
Given that it is now Pride Month, my brain went a completely different direction with black hole.
Oh wait, no. I'm gonna quit.
As long as everyone is consenting, it is fine.
Good. The good kind of butt hurt.
Oh, fuck you.
I think that was the point.
I just watched an ESRB rating change in real time.
Wait,
we
how
just
many
gained
fucks
a follower.
Hello!
Well,
no.
It doesn't get better.
Thank you, black holes. Right. The era of black. You know, there's going to be an era of black holes. Anyway. Okay, so a little bit of recap. We did a recap just for the players before we jumped on this. So we're not going to do too much of a recap for you all because last session was confusing. If you want the recap, you should go watch that session. Yeah? Here's basically what's going down. The Cool Mint, your all's ride, has crashed into the colony. It's obliterated a few buildings in the old town, which is the southern side. That dome that was protecting the city from the horrible, we'll call it a plasma storm, is broken on the south side. So plasma lightning bolts are shooting around everywhere. Just see a Star Trek episode. You know what I'm talking about? Sort of like there can be only one going down the boulevard. Confucius, the Generalissimo who had taken over Novus Terra, is dead. One of his main lieutenants, Lieutenant Commander Axel, is dead. Lots of people have fallen today, but none of you. Dolby and Skip, you guys are together, right? Where did we leave off with you two?
Well, we weren't together.
You were not together. Where did we leave off?
No. I was helping people in the streets, and I was closer to their bunker that was a little bit north.
Barracks.
Yeah, the barracks. And I had seen the clad ship helping people, and that's where we left off where I was.
So you were just north of the statue that is now felled. Yeah, you're to the northeast a little bit of ways. Dolby, where are you?
I am probably pretty close to, if I'm not still where the statue is in the bunker, I'm around there. For sure.
So you're basically central east. One thing that we didn't mention in our little player recap, was Dolby had found a bit of a menagerie, Confucius's menagerie, and he had picked up a small box that was reminiscent of something he had seen on Whisper Base many, many moons ago, which Dolby
So, quick
guessed
question.
what it is. Yes.
Was it intentional that when you started off with saying what's going down and then you immediately talked about the Cool Mint?
Like most things I do, no. Not at all. But I'll claim it. Right. Katrina, you have skedaddled. You've ran fast and hard in the Highland way, down south to where the plasma storm is actually exploding and whatnot. People are running indoors, and you have run into the bar that you guys had gone into at the very beginning. Do we remember the name of the bar?
Greasy Axle.
The Greasy Axle. You get a pip for that. Cherokee Sue is in pursuit, and we ended with Cherokee arriving at the door of that bar. Silas, I don't think we said where you were. So where is Silas?
Silas is, I think, with me. Because I had
I thought I was
him...
with Cherokee too.
No, I had him disarm the nuke.
Okay.
So, well, we can move past that. So, Silas, you'd gone down into the bunker with Dolby. You had disarmed this big red button. It was, in fact, a big red button. The nuke is not actually in the bunker, right? The nuke is elsewhere, right?
Well,
because
disarm the
it doesn't have to
switch.
be. Right. Disarm the switch. So there still is a tactical nuke of some sort. There is still a bomb of some sort. You can tell. Somewhere in the city. And now, Silas, where have you gone?
As you could have left and gone back to catch up with Cherokee Sue while he was looking through the menagerie. So that
Or
would
you could
give
be with
time to do
Dolby,
that.
or you could be up with Skip.
Your
Wherever
choice,
you wanna be.
basically.
I would say I'm with you since we're kind of responsible for making sure everybody else is safe.
All right,
and
so
having a
Silas,
perimeter.
you'll be a few yards behind Cherokee because he's got that long stride.
Yeah. I mean, I'm tall, not that tall.
Archangel, we will find out where you are in a second. It's a bit of a mystery what has happened on the Coolment.
I'm pretty used to that.
Yeah. Burgess will be with Dolby.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And Cool Me will be
Probably with me as well.
with you as well. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. All right. So that's everybody. Real quick flashback. No? Come on.
Yeah, it's Wayne's World. Excellent.
Wayne's World. Excellent. No, that's not Wayne's World, is it?
Is it?
Okay.
That's most excellent.
No, I'm thinking
adventure.
the excellent. It's
Oh.
right. So, Katrina, we have asked you a couple questions in the Discord. Did you read all that?
Yes, I did.
Good. Yeah, for your information, some of that people know, at least out of game. It's the kind of stuff that I think everyone could know. So here's a little bit of a lore drop for all of yous. Telmar Shipping is a shipping company. It's primarily between Sol System and the, or within Sol System itself, and the very near colonies, as well as the proximal colonies. So near colonies would be within Sol System, pretty much out to where like the Oort Cloud is, and then proximal are within like 4 to 5 light years, up to 10. So that's where Telmar has most of its stuff. There are other shipping companies within the colonies themselves, or in the systems that the colonies are in. Basically, they have unions, and they do intra-system type shipping and all the bits and pieces that would happen in commerce. Telmar is kind of like the Walmart or the Amazon, if you will, of Sol System. And then within all these different systems, there's unions. There are also a couple larger corporations. You guys may or may not know them. Those corporations deal with between the proximal colonies. Some of them deal with the distal and the proximal colonies. So we're talking like way out there, right? There's also pirate bands. So Telmar is trying to make their way further and further out and do an Amazon type thing. I'm really making them sound like good guys, aren't I? Yeah. Yeah. I think
Super
everybody
good.
pretty much knows that exists. As to the details, you guys can bid if you want to know more, or hit the big red button. Do you want to know more? All right. So, Katrina, we have this idea. Why is it that you're not on good terms with Telmar?
So I think the most reasonable reason would be that basically she didn't she has not lived up to her duties as someone who is, at the very least supposed to be responsible for helping, be part of the company. She's kind of, she was raised to take, a leadership role in the company, and then she kind of fucked off to become a mercenary, basically.
Right.
So, and on top of that, even besides her kind of shirking her duties, so to speak, a member of the Telmis family, working as a, at least from their point of view, a second-rate mercenary, is not a good look for the company.
Right. So it's that kind of thing. And when we met you, when you were introduced to the game, the pirates that you were with, you had gone into cryo because you guys were traveling, long distance. Once you had woken up, it slowly probably became evident that they were going to sell you for a ransom. You weren't on course to where you thought you were going, they were going to take you to like maybe not Seoul itself, but somewhere to ransom you or whatever. So
Yeah.
I think that with all that was going on at the time, especially with the pirates and the fact that eventually when Dolby killed those pirates who did betray you, by the way, maybe didn't mind as much. Vesper, so Wilhelm Vesper, who was with them, when you woke up, you had never seen him before. So he wasn't one of the pirates. He was actually he was like an indentured servant to them. And that's essentially what you all found out. So that little backstory, as you were in cryo, you're in the pirate ship, and which I forget the name of now, and the pirate ship gets head-butted at ultrasonic speed by Archangel and disabled. That was the kind of situation, right? So you hitching a ride with the Cool Mint and going back out into space was in line with what you pretty much wanted to do. We're going to run a little bit of a scene, though. An encounter, if you will. So there's a space station. We had decided where, Telmar's main hub is. Go on.
One thing I wanted to say, I thought, if I remember correctly, I was picked up in a broken ship that the pirates had attacked but had left, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure I wasn't confused about something, but.
Right. Well, that's what I was messaging you about, is your introduction to the game. At that time, there was no such thing as Telmar in the galaxy. It was all
Okay.
in Sol System, and it was really small. And then we made it a huge conglomerate that actually has a massive entity. And you also introduced the fucking Ansible. So, yeah, that's what I was saying. I switched some of the stuff.
Okay.
That the people that you were with, they were also pirates.
Okay.
They're the ones who betrayed you. We'll say that. It doesn't really matter. I mean, like we can make all the lines line up, but at this point, that's what we have to change it to, right?
Okay.
Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. Why were you out in the middle of nowhere, right? Okay. So, the actual system that Telmar has its main station in, we did a big fate roll for this. Do you remember the name of the system?
Sure.
The system explodes like the nothing wall.
I'll write that down.
Gamorreek is hanging out over there.
I thought it was from Mars. That
I mean,
was
it
just
is,
what I thought.
but
That's when it started.
Yeah.
Drizzle, do you remember?
Oh yeah, it's somewhere else.
Trey Luna?
Trey Luna.
Yeah, that sounds right. I do remember
That sounds like you made that name up.
Oh yeah, that's why I remember it.
You know, it's like the Trey Luna, right?
Yeah. Well,
Right.
I remember now, like when you say the name, because we decided that the interesting thing about it was they basically set up base in this triple moon system that had, that could support, like the reason it was such a good base was because there were these 3 moons together that supported, that was livable enough that they could use them as a base operation between the 3 of them.
Right. And what this system looks like, we'll figure out some other day. Because I know there's I just watched the 3-body problem. I was like, oh shit.
I have it on the screen. I just can't share tonight. So if you're watching the Twitch stream, I think this is
a very stable system. Don't judge us. All right. Anyway, you'll be on this space station. What does the space station look like? We'll say, just for funsies, it looks like Deep Space Nine. That's easy. All right, so you're on Deep Space Nine, out in the Trey Luna system. Does everybody know what I'm talking about?
Mm.
No? Okay.
Yeah.
You have a core pod, okay? So it has many floors on it. This is sort of like the main station. And then there are walkways that go out, we'll say 4 of them, to large pylons. Okay? So they're livable pylons, and they are connected to the core, and this thing spins. Does that make sense? So it looks like a Caltron. It looks like a jack. It's a floating jack that people can live in space. That's what it looks like. This stuff is like kind of pointy and like cool looking and goth. Nothing. I'm just like fucking bombing tonight. So you're on the space station. There's a few ships flying about. They're having a board meeting. You're not allowed in it, right? It's like, think Bruce Wayne, Enterprises style. There's like big doors and shit. Because the space station spins, they have spin gravity. And you're waiting outside. We'll say that you have just broached the subject. You've just decided that you're going to leave the system and go pursue whatever it is that Katrina wants to pursue. Okay, this is a proximal colony, so you're around 5 light years from Sol. The system's fairly safe, despite there being mercenaries and lots of commerce and pirates and stuff. Pretty much everybody's on good behavior in the system. You're breaking it to, well, whoever your family member is who's on the board when this meeting's done that you're leaving. This is going to be big time on you, how this works. So, what are you doing? Describe yourself at this point in time. We'll say it was 2 years ago. It was longer than 2 years ago because of cryo, but of years you actually.
But for me, it was
experienced
2 years
2
ago.
years, right?
Yeah. At this point, let me try and reason this out. At that point, Katrina is a lot less sure of herself. So she is, she's a lot. As she's actually sort of pacing outside the door, waiting for her. Let's say it's her older brother, who is the one who's on the board, and just sort of. If anybody was just happened to be sitting there watching her, they'd see that she was, at least anxious about telling her brother this, because she knows that it's not going to go well, and that he's going to be pissed. But she's gotten exceptionally bored with the paper pusher lifestyle, for lack of a better way to put it.
Yeah, we'll say they gave you like a job in the mailroom or something.
Yeah.
You can have that as a trade if you want. Mailroom, bitch, or whatever,
Well, and to expound upon that, her dad probably told her, this is to teach you, the proper clerical, work. If you ever want to rise to the position of your brother, kind of thing, you need to know how to handle paperwork efficiently and correctly, kind of shit.
But you're a millennial, so you don't want to do that shit.
Fuck no. So, Katrina thought, and if anything, that job gave Katrina more than enough time to sort of not only get frustrated with it, but start planning out what she really wanted to do with her future, kind of thing. And she found a mercenary organization that was willing to take her on, if only for her name. And so she could strike out into the wider verse and do her own thing, because at that point she lived her life basically in an opulent birdcage, shall we say. She was always expected to be prim and proper and a for lack of a better way to put it, a Martian princess, someone who was expected to always say the right thing or not say or say nothing at all, kind of thing. And she wanted the freedom to express herself and have adventure, for once in her life that wasn't tailored to make sure that she never, had an issue.
So the doors, they don't swing open; they slide open. You see, of course, think of like RoboCop 2. It's a big boardroom with a bunch of people in, suits, but they're like all spacey. Like, they have like plastic-looking things on. They're all fitted and whatnot, and extremely rich looking. As your brother walks out, your brother's name is Forthworth. Good old Forthworth Junior. He shouldn't be a junior. He should be like Forthworth the Fifth.
I was gonna say fourth, so it's harder to say.
Forthworth
Forthworth the Fifth.
Oh, that's tough too. Okay, yeah.
He is obviously human, or a Zen. He looks like a banker. He's got extremely smooth white skin. This guy has spent a lot of time in space, and he uses lotion. He's kind of got a skinny build, doesn't do too much. Kind of a round, bland face. I don't know why I say I'm saying kind of. I'm literally reading it off of a screen. How tall are you, Katrina?
5'6".
Right, so you're taller than your brother. He's 5'5". But he has a pretty commanding presence when he wants to. His voice is this deep baritone. And if you didn't see him, like the voice doesn't match the person, but he can really fill a room with his presence in that regard. He comes out and his cool gray eyes fall upon you. And you see, almost like you're looking at your dad, just a younger version. He kind of shakes his head as the doors slide behind him. And he walks, hands behind his back, up to you.
As Katrina saw the door start to open, she would sort of assume a parade rest kind of stance. So she put her hands behind her back and in that sort of feet shoulder width apart sort of thing, waiting for her brother to come back up.
He walks up to you and kind of looks up, Are you going somewhere?
Fort, I've got an offer
Spit it out,
from
Katrina.
I've got an offer from a mercenary company that wants to hire me.
We've been over this. He turns on his heel and walks over to like this little sofa and sits down. It's like a leather sofa in a space station. Sits down. Why would you go join with a bunch of cutthroats?
I want to do something else. This paperwork bullshit is going to suffocate me, and I'll blast myself out an airlock before I get anywhere with this. It's going to drive me crazy. I need to do something else.
You see he is unconvinced. He looks at you with his cool gray eyes, kind of unwavering. Maybe there's a little bit of a flinch of emotion, but it's really difficult to read his face.
Look, you've seen my scores in the simulators and in the practice combat arena. That's what I'm supposed to do.
Those are video
I can't
games,
in the military.
Katrina.
well, how am I supposed to get any real experience otherwise? I mean, I could join the military, sure, but then they're just gonna give me a bunch of bullshit and want me to become an officer, and I don't want to do that. I want to fight.
We can't have one of our family joining a mercenary band. Can you imagine what that would look like? It would bring down the SSA onto us. They would start looking at what everyone in these systems do, even more so than they do. Do you see how dangerous that is? Stop being selfish.
At the end of the day, I'm just one. I mean, how many? There's you. You're doing a wonderful job, and you're good. That's what you feel. It seems like that's what you were meant to do. Like all your life, you've been so much smarter than me. You've been so much.
God damn it! I don't want
better
to do
at
this. I wanted to be a
political
painter.
bullshit. Well, at least you can still do that while doing all this other bullshit, but I can't. I
My
have
true
no other
calling
option.
is in the colors. As he kind of looks up.
The colors out of space.
I gave up my dream for father and mother.
Look,
You can too.
I knew this is gonna be a fight, and I didn't want you to try and convince me otherwise. So I already signed a contract with him. It's too late.
He looks disappointed. Make a sanity roll. In his face, you see the generations, 5 generations of Telmuses, and their disappointment.
That's 2 successes.
Yeah, how do you get over it?
Katrina, she get over it. Well, I mean, at this point, like they've already had this conversation a dozen times. So she knows, she knows what he was gonna say, and she knows at the end of the day his stance on it.
this is
And
a
that's why
formality.
I mean that's why she signed the contract ahead of time, because she knew that there was no winning this argument with him.
As you sit there resolute, you see him nod.
Look, I know. I promise you, I'll show you. I'm going to be one of the best out there at this job. I won't bring dishonor on our family.
I doubt very much that you're wrong. However, you will bring dishonor on the family by being a cutthroat mercenary. But you don't care about that, do you, Katrina? As he stands up. At least tell me who you've signed up with. The guy's name is Booth.
The troops called the Blue Angels under Booth.
Is that a Mandalorian?
They're gonna teach. No,
Okay.
they're gonna. I'm telling. They're gonna teach me how to be one of the premier EVA specialists in the known, in the known colonies.
He walks back into, or he walks towards the boardroom, and is about to, touch the pad to make it open. As he turns one last time, you realize, doing this, we're going to have to have a reason you're not here. You will essentially be cut off.
I know. I'll make my own way.
as the doors start opening. And do you bid anything to have this go one way or the other?
No. But as you know, I see that he starts walking through the doors. I love you, Fort. I know that seems disappointing, but I promise this is what's best for everybody.
Do you bid anything?
Uh,
You don't have to.
oh, that actually works really well. I'm gonna bid Wanderlust.
He'll turn
I don't
one
hardly
last
ever
time.
use that, but that's perfect for this.
He'll turn one last time, and seeing you and seeing how different you are, you see something curious comes over his face, an actual emotion. You haven't seen this since he was a kid, since he was going mad with the pastels. And the inks. Goodbye. Okay. Flash forward to thunder and plasma storm outside. The lights flicker as all this flashes in across your eyes. And as the lights come back on, people are, cowering and stuff. You see the bartender, William, coming up. What the hell? And the doors open. You see, dominating, filling the doorway, Cherokee Sue, and running it behind, Silas. We're gonna move over to Skip Trace. What are you doing, buddy?
At this point, I know that the cool mint's gone down, right?
If people said, then yes.
I don't know if people said or not.
Did anyone say it?
I suggested. I think I suggested it. I don't know if I even know 100%.
Silas, you can give a thumbs up if you did, or thumbs down if you did not. Radio. Thumbs up. Okay, so Silas told you all.
Okay.
Yeah.
The cool. I will get on the comms and be like, Silas, you said the cool mint was down.
I do not remember. Can you unmute us, please?
I did.
You're
did?
unmuted.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I don't have it in my notes.
It's because you weren't here.
You weren't here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, the question was, did the cool mint go down?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You guys saw it
super
shot
did.
twice by
We
the
saw it.
P&B cruiser, and then it was like,
You saw
and ran through a couple buildings.
The cool mint was pretty close to the mesh grate on the dome, and so their P&B vessel fired on the cool mint, and the city was
crashed
behind
through
it.
the dome.
It was a reckless action by their
Big time.
Moriarta.
my Moriarta.
So seeing your all ship crash, does Silas radio only Dolby or the whole team?
The whole team.
Go ahead. What do you say?
The ship's been down. The whole. I mean, like, what else do I say?
Hey, y'all. Ship's down.
Yeah.
That's what y'all are doing.
Flattened.
I'm gonna get on the comms. I told them to get out of the way. Brick, are you there, Brick? Josh. Anybody?
You see Skip start hoofing it to where, because you can see the wreckage of the city and where it ends. So Skip will start hoofing it to where the ship is down. I'm headed there. I'm headed to go see what I can do. And I just, as I'm running.
Do you bid anything to get there real quick?
I will bid front lines.
As like a wide receiver, I say that with so much ignorance. You run, they run, right? As you run.
It's like for me, I'm bidding it as like, because I've been on front lines, I know when something happens and I've got to hoof it to get there because something's gone down.
Dolby, you see Skip run past you. Cool Me turns. What happened?
I think they shot our ship down. They're fucking insane.
Shit. As you see that cruiser over the central city and towards the north, towards where the clad ship supposedly was seen going down, landing, I should say.
Landing.
Yeah, you cannot see the clad ship from here.
Can I bid a couple of things?
Sure. Oh, you can bid
Or
one thing to do an action.
Can I bid brick?
We're gonna say no because you don't know if she's alive or dead.
Okay. I'm going to bid my Black Agnes, and I'm just gonna assess the world around me. I'm gonna see, kind of take a breath in, and I'm gonna ask Silas, can I get eyes? What's happening? Can you give me more description? Where's the ship?
Do I need to bid something to be able to see what's going on?
Like exactly where it is.
Yeah.
Or...
And where's their ship? Where's the clad ship?
Are you asking on open comms
Yeah.
or just to Silas? The clad ship is north by the bunker. It is helping out civilians who are hurt.
All right. We're gonna split up. Skip, you go check on our ship. Everybody else, you guys are with me. And we're gonna go investigate that clad ship. Actually, no, that's not true. Everybody else, what's your fuck? I can't even believe that. Cherokee Sue, I want Katrina in your sight and subdued right now.
Immediately enough, she's right inside. I'm just gonna kick the door in and walk into where the fuck she's at.
Oh, shit.
Because originally I was I'm just standing awkwardly in front of this door, right? Like this whole time. Like,
and Colmy, can you take me somewhere where I can get healed up a little bit? I'm kind of hurt right now.
Comey looks down at you and says, "Oh, of course. Oh my God. Describe what you look like, actually."
I look like somebody hit my armor pretty hard with the laser sword. There's probably a gash in the armor where I didn't dodge during the last episode or do any kind of strategery to avoid being cut because I was infuriated with Axel. So Axel's blade cut me, but I cut him more.
So you look like you've been, like your armor's melted or something and you're actually injured, or it just looks like you're all scuffed up and
yeah, I think the armor's
burned.
Damaged a little bit. You know, it's damaged on the side. The force field that I have on took most of some of the brunt.
Okay. So it's all scorched up and perhaps
but it's definitely
actually like melted in places.
Melted.
Okay. As she looks at you, it looks like the damage isn't too much as from the south, thunder peals. Where can we go? She turns around, looks at the barracks, and you can kind of see through the trees and whatnot the robed figures of the clad, which they really are the Axminster clad, is what they're called, getting people indoors. She kind of narrows her eyes. Maybe not north. I mean, what do you want to do?
Have you run into those guys before?
Well, they're the ones that pick up the ore,
They
but
ever land?
I've never talked to them. They've landed, not the entire ship. They've landed. They talk to Confucius lots. That's the reason. Like I said, as you guys are outside in this storm, do we need to go somewhere?
Yeah, I think we should. I'm gonna get back on the comms. I think we should all get inside, except for Skip. I need you. Maybe you can get Silas's help, in finding that ship. Maybe our people are in danger.
As Coolme will say, she kind of motions to the bunker, which is the nearest thing. Let me look at you really quick. Maybe there's a med kit down there.
Yeah. Does Burgess? Burgess is our officer, isn't he? Our
And he's not an officer. He's your med officer.
The medical guy. Like I think Burgess is the medical guy.
Yeah, he's the medic.
He's gonna cauterize it.
Yeah, right. Burgess, little help.
Yeah. What do you want?
A little patch-up job.
Sure. We should probably get indoors.
Yeah, it's probably true.
Hold on. I have to have like hair. Something like. Yeah.
Okay, let's cool me, Burgess. Let's get patched up a little bit.
We go in.
Yep.
Is there anyone to shoot?
Yeah. Just a little bit right here.
I've got this flamethrower.
Yeah. No. Try your med kit.
Oh.
I bid Burgess to do the med kit.
It's really hard to do that. He is so good at keeping a straight face. It's really hard. Wow. Props to Hulker. Yeah. You guys cool with... Are you all cool with bidding Burgess to heal Dolby?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you say that like it's gonna go wrong?
Well, I'm too far away to do anything about it, so it's we really don't have a choice because like.
Well, the party all has to agree to bid one of our seats.
Well, I mean, what I'm asking, I guess, is there's nobody else besides me and Burgess that can heal anybody.
Right. I'm doing this because I'm a dick. I'm
aware.
Outing,
I'm just like, there's nothing that I can do to help
That's
you.
what I'm doing.
I don't care. It's fine. Do what you want.
I'm outing Andrea. Is what I'm doing. Yeah. So we just need a majority.
At the end of the day, it doesn't matter to me.
It doesn't have to be unanimous. It's just a majority. So everybody's cool with it.
All right, Burgess, get out.
Most unanimous.
As you guys
Most unanimous.
go into the bunker, Dolby. So, hey Dolby, you guys are in the bunker.
Yeah, a little healing
in the hallway of it. Do you go all the way in, or are you just in the hallway?
We'll just go into the front entrance and do a quick healing.
Okay.
Because I want to get back out.
Bidding Burgess will work. We need a D6. Silas, would you roll me a D6 and do not roll a 1?
Great. Hold on.
He might need an
4.
emergency amputation.
Nice.
Hey.
Would you roll me a D4?
No, maybe. 3.
So 3 and 5. Let's go. 4, 5. So you get 5 plot armor back, Dolby.
Nice.
As Burgess pulls out this med kit. Looks like a med kit. It has a bunch of syringes full of, different colored goop, as they are stent packs, magic heal you packs that kind of juice you up a little bit. You've used them before. And he sticks you directly in your iliac crest. And it feels bad as he pushes in. Ooh. But some of electrolytes and the skin abrasions and such, and the bruising that there is, heals up, and he's like, you won't die yet. Okay.
Thanks.
He looks at your suit and such. So your suit's a little bit messed up.
That'll be fine. It's been through worse. Go ahead.
He'll take out some foam, like mending bullshit, and spray on there.
Oh, wow.
Jazzy, will you roll a d6 and do not roll a 1? Nice. And Drizzfest, will you roll me a d4?
One.
All right.
Can I have reroll?
If you want a proficiency that you
I guess which one is more important to reroll, the D4? Is that correct?
Yeah.
Can you?
That's the one that actually gives you the
proficiency,
juice.
a violence proficiency to reroll.
Okay.
3.
All right. So 3. So you get 3 more plot armor back.
Ooh.
I'm sorry, 4 more plot armor back because it's a D4 plus 1, as it mends part of your suit and dries really fast. It's sort of this tacky, caulky looking substance.
All right. Thanks, Burgess. That's why I keep you around.
You see, a medkit has 6 uses, so he can continue using them on you if you want. He only has 1 medkit though.
Yeah.
Just
no, we
futuristic
should
flex
probably
seal.
hold on to the other ones. I'm doing all right.
Okay, I'll keep these for myself. All right.
So there's
So this, okay. So there's Dolby, Coolme, and Burgess. I'm gonna wait for Katrina and Cherokee. We're gonna have that as a scene here in a second. Let's do Silas and Skip. As you guys meet up in the streets, there's ozone in the air. So you guys have on spacesuits, so you don't feel it, but it's sort of crackling around you. You see the energy arcs breaking windows and almost like electronic aliens, like crawling up buildings and around. Like ball lightning is everywhere. Down to the south, where the entrance of the city is black wind-swept terrain outside of the city. Gale force winds. You can't see through it at all. As the main thrust of the storm has yet to hit. Actions on you two.
I'm running. I'm running to where I think it is. As I see Silas running up, I'm just like motioning to where I think it is, and just keep trucking.
I'm following Skip.
Okay, as essentially the terrain is, you got the main boulevard, and then broken down buildings and alleyways, as it's pretty clear where the coolment went. It clipped the first church, so the steeple's gone, and then just meteorited a big path of rubble. We'll say it's a couple city blocks that way. So it's rough terrain. You have to climb around shit. Yeah, how are you guys doing that? I had other things to say, and then I decided not to trigger everyone.
I'm going to bid Scrapper, and this is not new to me. So it looks like I'm literally like I'm parkouring. Like you see me like you see like the big block and I hip it and jump off it and like because I'm used to running through battlefields. So this is nothing new for Skip to be able to hoof it through this like it's like he's used to it. This is something he's done many times.
Silas, you see that Marvel moment where, you know, it's like the camera's on Skip Trace's face, like the helm. It's Drizzle, you know, behind the thing. You see his mustache. As then it's over the shoulder and he's, you know, it looks pretty good, right? But it's like that cell animation and clearly they paid a lot of money for this shot as he's like flying around and shit and parkouring and spinning on crap and lightning bolts are going. He's dodging them like Spider-Man. How are you doing this?
It's
Being massive gun.
Parkour!
It's his stunt double.
With this
Chip.
huge gun.
With a massive fucking gun.
The camera spins around. You actually see Drizzle in like normal clothes, like, damn.
Oh my god, that's so very Harmon Quest.
it cuts back to the guy, and you see like just this cardboard mustache taped to his face, and he's like,
But it's you and Seaman who are like, they both have them, but anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, Silas, what about you?
I'm gonna bid my origin. I'm from the moon, so I'm more used to the gravity, and I tend to be more nimble.
Okay, yeah, there is less. This is less than Earth gravity, and you know how to maneuver in it. So describe this.
I am running like a very tall, slender man-ish pixie on my toes. It's like I'm barely hitting things and just moving to the next thing.
Yep. As it's like one of those scenes where the shit's falling and you're like jumping on the shit that's falling and then leaping off of that like
Yes.
Camera
like I'm
pans
so
around.
graceful, but I'm so tall and like freakishly
Right.
like I'm so tall. It like and you don't know whether to be scared or like, oh, that looks beautiful.
The camera pans around. You see like the director's chairs. It's me and Ken. We're like, that's completely unrealistic. There's no way. That's yeah. Ken's like, it'll sell, Bill.
We'll fix it in
It's forced
post.
perspective. It always works.
The camera guy turns. It's Jazzy. It will fix it in post. Indeed,
All right.
we have
I'm just
successfully
Jazzy.
broken the fourth wall and the fifth wall several times with this. As
Potentially the sixth wall.
you two make it. Scene cut as you sort of jump in the frame, completely, not covered in dust or sweating.
You see the guy jump down and go under the thing, and then up I pop.
Right. Ha. So you see under half a building, the cool mint, like a spacecraft that has crashed into the earth. Sparks are flying, arcing. You see two large railgun holes directly through it. So it's Swiss cheesed a couple times. One of the holes is through the cockpit. As you see, like, Josh's chair hanging there and blood everywhere, as well as like pieces of something that looks fleshy. Everything else is black and scorched, as the railgun would have blackened it like a fish. The kill shot was not that. It was clearly in the engine. Does look like the cryo chambers are possibly intact. Yeah, that's what you guys see.
Alice, be careful up here. Try not to. I'm going to try to go in through this hole through the cockpit, but try not to lean on any glass. It may break underneath you. Try to lean towards the metal area as we're going in.
We're gonna do a really quick fate roll. Really quick? That's a lie. It's not going to be quick. Who's fortune? Who's false fortune? Anyone can do these because this
I'll be
affects everybody.
fortune.
Okay. Who's false fortune? Who wants to roll that D100? Okay. So here are the stakes. When the cool mint went down, Vesper lost control of Johnny 25. So, fortune, Johnny 25, powered down but still had inertia, ran through a building and has some cover. False fortune, the cruiser finds Johnny 25 and shoots at him. Now, does he explode? Probably. He probably explodes if the cruiser goes full on. But I won't make that call 100%. So, fortune, Johnny 25 does take damage, slams into the building, but actually has cover from the cruiser. The cruiser can't find it. False fortune, he just sort of powers down in the middle of the street on the west side, and the cruiser lays into it.
Causing
Roll
more
it.
damage. Causing more damage to the infrastructure of the mesh than keeping all the people safe.
Yes. Yes. 100%. As to give you a semblance of who that commander is. Remember, they did nuke the planet.
They're not good people.
All right, let's roll it.
All right. What you got?
57.
I got 38.
57.
I'll spend a proficiency to
Powering up. The cruiser is looking around for them. They see like the tank tread tracks. They're over
I'm
there.
gonna spend a movement proficiency to do a reroll on that one.
That's good. All right, everybody, reroll. Both Silas and Dolby.
48.
That's worse. I rolled a 15.
We're getting close. We're getting close. I think we see them. Anybody can spend proficiencies to make the reroll.
Save us. I don't know where my sheet's at. Hold on. Oh, here we go.
Right?
Are we in a new scene by now?
Yeah, there's a new scene. You guys are
From the last, let me rephrase that. From the last time I was here, are we in a new scene?
This is true. However, I don't know where they were in that scene. So, are they fresh? Yeah. I'll agree with that, Dolby. Yeah, you two get all of your plot armor and your traits back because the last time you played, you had gone through all the shit, and so it makes sense that you reset.
Okay.
Yeah, that's cool. So you get your plot armor back, and you get your traits and proficiencies back.
What about arcane?
Unless you've spent stuff.
If nobody else is going to, I will throw a proficiency at it, and I will also throw a movement.
Yep. All right, do it.
Okay. That's good. That's good. I got a 91.
Okay. I got a 39.
Hey.
I was gonna shit if that was higher than a 91.
As the cruiser's looking around, I will not reveal Moriarta. There's a shadowed captain's chair. And you see like some blue eyes glowing from the captain's chair. Find it now! You hear this woman's voice as the two, you guys don't hear it, but the people watching this movie would. Chekhov and Sulu up front are like, oh fuck, we're wearing red.
They got red shirts on. Oh no.
Well, they are, yeah. They're in the old days. Those were the red shirts. Been. Did they have red?
Yeah.
I think they had red.
They had gold. No, wait, that was
They had
captain.
gold.
That was the captain.
Kirk had gold. Scotty had red. No, they had gold. They had gold.
They had gold.
Yeah, because blue was science. Curse, merry band, and the rope. Okay, so you hear the thrumming of the cruiser overhead. Silas and Skip, as it searches for something. For a moment, perhaps the thought comes that, are they going to finish the job and shoot at the ship you're at? Do you all take cover, or you just stand there defiantly?
Well, I'm going in.
Okay, Skip Trace heads directly in, climbing in.
I'm also going in. I am going to stay at the entrance just to scope out and make sure that we're not going to get ambushed.
Yep. As Silas, you post up at the entrance, and you will see the cruiser through the broken alleyway go off towards the west and the north, and then it's on some sort of search pattern. Skip, you climb into the cockpit. Action's on you. What are you doing?
I'm looking
Lights
for...
are flickering and such.
I'm looking for anybody that I can help. Any of our crew members. I will bid Kettle to do that.
Nice.
And so I'm anybody that I can check on and make sure that they're good and get them up and going.
As you sorry, I got distracted. As you enter the cockpit and you're looking around, you bid Kettle. You look and you see blood as you saw, and then you see the trunk of Josh. It looks like he had gotten up, and maybe the thought of he perhaps knew the shot was coming. Through a little bit of sleuthing, it looks like he maybe pushed someone out of the cockpit.
Okay.
But he's sort of half there.
I will follow the direction he would have pushed.
As you're climbing up, because you know the Coolmint's, the nose is down. As you're sort of pulling yourself up, where the top of the stair would be, and can look down, you see the cryo chambers. How many cryo beds did you have?
Weren't there
a bunch?
Weren't there 8?
That was like a lot.
I think you had 9 because Silas's was like a secret one.
Yeah. 9 is
All right.
correct.
Let's see how many you have now. Bleeding you dry. Okay. Roll a d8.
Anyone?
Whoever wants to roll it.
That's a 1.
Oh no.
Let me spend my last proficiency. Oh, and I got an 8, so that was a well spent one.
So you see, somehow all 8 of your cryo chambers are they're on, as in you see the lights. They're not actually damaged, and the one that doesn't work is dust stones. As maybe it was kind of jacked up anyway, and so it is off.
It had a couple of bullet holes in it.
Yeah, it has a couple bullet holes. Down at the bottom of the stairs, you see Dole Engineering. He has a rod through what looks like his stomach. His leg is bent around, like Dumb and Dumberer, right? Like, right?
Yeah.
He is unconscious and out, but he is breathing.
Brick.
Yeah, I'm finding him.
Hey.
Looking around, you see a trail of blood leading past the cryobeds and into the mess.
Okay. As I notice, I'm going to I'm gonna check his pulse. I see he's breathing. I'm gonna check his pulse to see if it's steady or if it's waning.
What do you bid?
I will bid flaw calloused. Basically at this time, I know this is one of my crew, but I've had to do this before. I've got to find out. I've got to assess everybody.
Okay. As you continue into the ship, Silas, you're outside. You see some people looking around at the buildings that are still standing, and you hear yelling and banging, but it's all muffled. Just here and there. As, you know, the sort of silence fills the air, and you realize there are people in the rubble.
I'm going to yell back at Skip and say, you need to check our people fast because there's people in the rubble.
I've found
your warnings.
I've found Dole. He's hurt. What was his pulse steady or was it waning?
It was steady. Or it
I
is steady.
found Dole. He's hurt, but his pulse is steady. I'm moving on. He should be okay for me to continue looking. And I continue to follow the blood.
Silas, being outside, the wind starts picking up. You're nestled in this sort of crater of buildings, but you can see the dust on top of the buildings like kick up violently. As you can see through the dome, which is a couple miles up, all broken and such, this if you've ever been in a tornado, and you're from Kentucky and such, so I'm sure that you know about a tornado. You see that the feeder band hurricane style of move around as you know it's going to get gnarly if that storm actually hits. Couple random blue arcs of energy. Skip. You follow the blood, I'm assuming.
Yep.
There are other places to go, but you follow the blood. Into the mess, and you find Vesper. Vesper is slumped onto the table. Blood is everywhere. And his arm is like shaking his pale, fish-like flesh, right? It's never seen the fucking light of day. He looks depressed on this table. Being voidborn, you've seen this with gravity sickness, and he's having trouble breathing, and blood is just like dripping off the table.
Okay, I'm going to go up and check on him. He's awake, right?
He is in extreme shock. His eyes are open, and he literally kind of looks like a fish. He's kind of like blowing out of his mouth in little puffs. It doesn't look like he's all there. Like maybe he got cut off.
Okay. I'm going to go up to. I'm going to check his pulse as well.
What do you bid?
I'm going to bid. War torn.
He looks like he's dying. He's not imminently dead, but he's lost a lot of blood. You know that netics, specifically ones that are as far cybernetic as he is, the vital systems don't really work the same. Some of them heal themselves. So that's something unless Skip Trace knows, then he doesn't know. Does Skip Trace know about netics, and can he assess that?
I'm going to say no, because I don't think that there's a whole lot of his experience with, because where the netic gets to very far, like they're not always on the front lines with him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
type sort of thing.
He looks really bad. He looks like he somehow got in here. He's like lost a ton of blood, it looks like. I would say Skip is kind of in awe that he's still alive.
No.
He's got lacerations all over his chest. Maybe he's actually put himself on the table to stop the bleeding in a way. It's kind of hard to tell without moving him. But
I'm going to message real quick. Vesper is hurt badly. He's gonna be top priority as soon as I find the other two. And I'll go to the next place to look and find.
All right. From that point, we're gonna move back to Cherokee Sue and Katrina. But first, let's take a short go to the bathroom break, because I've got to use the bathroom. So give it like 5 minutes, go refresh your drink, come back, use the bathroom. Cherokee, big scene. Katrina, big scene. This is a scene that could derail the entire game. It could be the game's best scene. It could be hilarious. It's on you two. You're alone. Well, I mean, there's other people in the bar. All right,
Yeah,
think
no
about
pressure,
it. We'll do
it's
5
fine.
minutes. Yep.